Systems. Chances are you've heard the acronym saving yourself time, energy, and money. Why do we care about systems? The reality is that entropy sits in. Time takes over. You end up in a rut and you've fallen behind. You're no longer modern and you're up to date in your systems if you don't consistently revisit and look at your systems and make sure that they're consistently serving yourself, your team, and your clients. I want to talk about these 5 reasons to look at, reevaluate, and make sure the systems that are currently in place aren't in need of tweaking, changing, evolving, or adapting. The first reason for having optimal systems is that it takes out human emotion, discretion, and subjectivity out of the equation. What happens is when somebody comes in, you want to serve them. You got in business to help people, to fix problems. When somebody comes in and they've got a story and they fit outside of your normal paradigm, you're going to want to fit them into your model. When you do that, invariably emotion comes into play, subjectivity comes into play, and discretion. And that usually, ask me how I know, becomes a very quick reason for people to, number 2, not have the same experience. The second reason, after taking the emotion discretion out, is you want everybody to have the exact same experience in your office, or at least as predictably as so. How many times has somebody told you, go to this place, and you have a terrible experience? You ever wonder why some Google reviews have 5 stars and what some have 1? Chances are there's something broken in their system where the customer is not having the exact same experience every single time. So you want to do as much as possible to make sure every single person who comes into your office is having the same experience across the board. The third reason for having and reviewing systems, your energy, your team's energy. You can bring your energy 100% of the time. How do you get your team to keep the same energy as you? What I'm imploring you to consider is that when you've had systems and you've taken the subjectivity and the emotion out, people's willpower, which is finite over the course of a day, a week, a month, a year, that willpower goes up. That energy goes up when people don't have to think for themselves. And I mean that only as a compliment, because when people have to make a decision, do something out of discretion or subjectivity, they overthink things and they're trying too hard, which gets into the 4th and 5th reasons in a moment. Tony Dungy, who is the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is really famous for being a great coach. The reason why he was a great coach is because he did not want his players to think for themselves. He wanted them to do their job, do only what they were supposed to do at their position. He wanted them as automatic, as robotic as possible. As a result, Tony Dungy is one of the most loved coaches by his players and one of the most successful Super Bowl winning coaches of all time. The 4th reason to look at your systems is a focused team. It's important that when your team has energy and it's consistent over the course of time, that their focus will also be proportionally reliable for you. And the nice thing about your team being focused is that you never have to think about what they're doing. And if you don't have to think about what your staff is doing, what your team is doing, you can be consistent, on point with your message 100% of the time. The 5th and final thing I want to talk about is that it takes out the fragilities of being human. We are all human. We have fear, we have rejection, we have the fear of rejection, anxiety, judgment, resentment, procrastination. What a big one, procrastination. We all have human frailties. And when your systems are present, you're not going to try to want to overserve everybody, because invariably when you set a bar too high, nobody ever clears that bar. So consistently having the same experience, not having to think about keeping energy high, keeping focus high, takes those human frailties out, and back to number 1, takes the subjectivity and the discretion out. As a result, your clients will be the benefit of your amazing service to humanity. You're going to be a more focused doctor, a more focused human being, and the best part is you're going to go home at the end of the day with more energy, more willpower to spend with your family, and if you've got kids, your kids. I know firsthand the time when my systems were suffering and entropy snuck in. I would go home at the end of the day And I was an amazing father. And I'll tell you, I'm the first one to tell you that I still have an evolution on this path. But I know that now, as a result of having systems, time management pieces, and having the ability to delegate to people allows me consistently to have more energy and more, as a result, frankly, more money coming into our life. Hey, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'd love to know if this video resonated with you, what we can do more of in the future. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day, everybody.